Hey guys,
Hey,
it's Sherry,
it's Jim.
and we are on our YouTube channel. Simply,
Doosterbeck.
that's like the handle. The name of the channel is what?
It's, it's simply,
A Doosterbeck Fang, Thang. Cause come on, we some country folk here. He likes to think he's from the city, but he's not. He likes to think he's redneck too. He's not.
not.
But anyway, how y'all doing today? We're hoping to interact with you guys. We're hoping we can get this uploaded. We have 30 subscribers. That's the big 30.
Thank y'all so much for subscribing.
Yes, thank you. Please subscribe. Hit the like, share button. Dream and Miss Tammy asked us to give an hour devotional. Last week was our first time. This is our second. Number 2. Hope it goes a little smoother than it did last week. Hope I get it uploaded properly. Because once we reach 50 subscribers, we can go live and interact with you while we're talking, which would be really cool.
Yes.
So we can answer questions better rather than trying to do it in the comments. So please comment, please subscribe if you haven't, share with your friends. Because I'm just going to say this is probably how your dad or somebody else would have said it. We're just two knuckleheads
Yeah.
talking, sharing how we feel, watching our dog dig a hole in the fence. Not in the fence, but in the dirt near the fence. So if you have to get on to him, his name is Kylo Ren. Daddy, speak up.
Ren.
Oh, he said, I didn't do it. He said, what, Daddy?
Come here.
Here he come. Here come the boy. Here come the boy. So y'all get to meet our child. Oh, with dirt and sand all on his face. Come here. Come here. Say hi. You want to come up here?
He said, not really.
He said, not really. I want to play. I got sand all over my nose and up my nose. So anyway, he's a good boy. Jim thought we would kind of give y'all a little background, but before we do, we just wanted to let y'all know that we really thought about and asked God, hey, what should this week be about? And seeing how it's the week before Christmas, the day before his birthday, we talk about blessings. And that doesn't just mean godly blessings. Oh, and by the way, we are very close to an Air Force base. So if you hear big booms, I promise we're not under attack. It is them target practicing. So anyway, that's what that big boom was. Kind of scary if you're not used to it the first time.
Yeah.
But before we get into all that, Jim, do you want to start us off in prayer, babe?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Father, thank you for the opportunity that you have led before us. Work through us to get your word out. Work through us to let people understand that we are spreading your word. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. That's awesome. So, Jim thought we would take an opportunity to give you a little backstory about he and I, in case some of you folks don't know who we are. We've been married. The 28th of this month will be 22 years. Whew. That's a long time. And I want to share that story real quick because people think, they get married fast. Well, I've been married before, had a son. Jim was in a relationship before and had a son. And me and my son we lived in Memphis, Tennessee. He lived in Russellville, Arkansas. And about 2 weeks prior to Halloween in 2002, Blake and I went to my cousin's wedding in Oklahoma, and Blake was crying, and he was like, Mom, I want a dad that loves me just as much as my dad loves her kids. So he was talking about his dad's girlfriend's kids. And I had, some of my older friends may remember this, but I had cassette tapes in my car, and a lot of them were Christian music and stuff like that. So we did praise and worship music, Blake and I, from Memphis to Oklahoma. And I asked God to show me a man that was a husband for me and would be an awesome father for my son. Lo and behold, 2 weeks later, it's Halloween. My girlfriend Susan invited me to go with her to her sister's 40th birthday. And yes, you heard me say sisters, they were twins. And I go there, and there's these people sitting around the table. I don't know who they are. I was told there was going to be cute guys there. But man, did I know this player looking guy was going to be there.
Who was that?
Ooh, that would be you. And he was dancing with this blonde-headed girl. Yeah, Rachel, you know who you are. I can say that because I love her dearly. She is my sister-in-law. And or she became my sister-in-law, let's put it that way. And I didn't know that. How was I supposed to know? They were dancing all the time. They were dancing together. And I was sitting across from this lady. I didn't know who she was. And I said, it's too bad he's not single. And she said, yes, he is. And I said, and like, how would you know? And she said, I happen to be his mama. I said, oh, okay. Hey, can we open my mouth and put my foot in any deeper? But we met the weekend before Halloween.
Yeah.
You stomped your big feet on the ground and said, I ain't going nowhere, because I told him I didn't want anything that wasn't serious. He said, boom, boom, I ain't going nowhere. He's 6'6", people. Y'all don't understand this. And so he towers over you when you stand up.
Then she said, well, if you're in it for a one-night stand, I'm not your person.
Nope.
I was like, I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah. So I go home with Blake, my son. We go trick-or-treating on Halloween. I end up in the hospital with double pneumonia. This crazy man calls me every day for a week. Then all of a sudden he's like talking about us being married. And I said, you know you're talking about us being married.
And I was like, yep.
And I said, we hadn't even said the L word.
So I said, I love you.
And we're getting married. It was that quick. But, you know, little did I know, Jim had been praying for the right woman for him, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm going to straighten this camera up just a little. Jim's kind of falling out of place over here. He's kind of hard to go, come on, get in the camera. So, anyway, he's bashful when I like to brag on him. You'll notice he looks down when see, there he goes. When I like to brag on him. But, you know, do we have the perfect marriage? No. But it's perfectly put together by God.
Yeah.
And we're perfect for each other.
Yeah. 'Cause I don't think there's another woman out there that would put up.
Just like me, come on down. Nope, no man wants to put up with this crazy mess either. So, anyway, so that's how we met. Been together, like I said, this year will be 22 years. But
I'm going to add something. We met in October.
mm-hmm.
That December, we were married.
Yeah.
So 2 months.
Not even. Well, yeah, just barely. Yeah. I packed me and Blake up and off to Arkansas we moved. Yeah. But Jill also wants to kind of tell you a little bit, because this whole year has been covered by God. And some things that don't feel like blessings, as you say, there's always that silver lining. And that silver lining is the blessing.
Yeah.
You know, what was it, in February? You came home from work early?
Yep.
And he's like, oh, I don't feel good, whatever. He don't come home from work early. And so I'm like, okay, what's wrong with you? You know, and I called the doctor. The doctor's like, go ahead, take him to the ER. They do a CAT scan. Where he was actually hurting, I'm going to throw you smooth under the bus here. He had gas. But on the other side, he had over a 3 centimeter, millimeter, something.
Centimeter.
Whatever it was. It was big enough. It had to come out. He had a cancerous tumor in his kidney. What? That was crazy.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
I'm riddled with cancer in my family. Didn't expect this one to get cancer. But they removed the entire kidney. But where the blessing came in is his entire family. I'm talking his brothers, both Rodney and Brian, his mom and dad, my son and his wife, my nephew and his daughter, and my nephew and his wife, and everybody came together. Jum's friends that he plays magic with, I mean, you name it, everybody came together. We had an amazing weekend. It was a really good weekend, and we cooked out, we had fun, you know, made his favorite spaghetti dinner, and everybody was just, it was just good.
yeah.
It was so good. And we took family pictures. There was a lot of pictures taken of the 3 boys and their mom and dad with them together. And, you know, it was just a really good weekend. Jum had a great outcome of the surgery. The cancer's gone. His kidney's functioning properly. This surgery happened in April. So, you know, we're licking our wounds and trying to get him healed up and just kind of living life a little bit. And then in August, he gets a phone call. And his dad is non-responsive. He's, you know, they thought was having sugar issues. They get him to the hospital, and come to find out he actually was 100% blocked in an artery in his heart. And unfortunately, on August 15th, his father passed away. So kind of the silver lining of Jim getting cancer was the family all being together for a good reason, right?
Yep.
Before your dad passed, God knew what was going on. You know, he knew what was in store, and as hard as that is to tell, it's a silver lining. You know, and then after we got through with all the funeral stuff and everything, because with the military, you have to schedule that, so there was a couple of weeks difference in when the funeral service and stuff like that could be. You came home from Florida and got COVID. Thanks for sharing. So we all got COVID, and so that put a big right in the financial bucket. But then his mom is down here. She has an amazing support group, amazing friends, but you know, bit of a mama's boy, and that's okay to say at 53. Yeah, I just went ahead and aged you up a day.
Yeah. Appreciate.
But you know, there might have been some positive and negatives about us coming, but we came down here. We weren't here, what? Were we even here a week? Maybe 2?
2.
And we were chilling out in bed watching TV, and his mom went shkaplat. Her sugar dropped, and she was a little bit anemic, and she combusted in the kitchen. And Jim goes in there, and, you know, that's why God had us come here. There's that little blessing, you know. it was horrible that she fell. She was all bruised and everything. She's doing better now. But there you go again with the blessing. And just a quick update, Jim has always wanted to be in law enforcement of some kind because of his size. Always wanted to use that size, haven't you?
Yeah.
And knock on wood, we're not going to say exactly where and all that good stuff yet. We'll tell you when the final stuff is done, but you have made it through at least the physical. The background check is going on right now. And the way we look at it, if it's God's will, it'll happen. They told him the tentative start date is January 3rd. So when we have started, we'll let you know.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's a little bit about us, a little bit more blessings. We could probably get into a lot more blessings that we've had over time, but I'm curious, what do y'all count as a blessing? Aren't you?
Yeah.
I posted that on my Facebook feed for anybody that's watching this that saw the Facebook feed and said, tell me about your blessing. Tell me about a blessing. Had 4 people
Yeah.
answer? They were all good. I'm not going to say they're not, because blessings are blessings. But the one that really got me was a dear friend I have that I've had since high school. And she said that her blessing was both spiritually and physically, and that God had saved her, and that one really touched my heart.
Yeah. When I read it, I was like, wow.
Yeah, she's a real dear friend. But and don't take me wrong, of all blessings that are not material or physical, the spiritual or the being saved is probably the best thing.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
So, I kind of wrote down because I hear churches. I'm going to throw quite a few churches under the bus here. Smack under that 18-wheeling bus, just run them right over. Because they talk about, if you do this, or give me money, or do this, you're going to get blessings.
They're saying, you're talking about monetary blessings to it.
Skirt. No,
Yeah.
don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, I'm going to say, if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong, but I truly believe it doesn't work like that.
I thought you were supposed to give without the intention of receiving something back. Are you not?
That's what you're supposed to do.
Does he not tell us to give with all your heart and that's it? He don't say, because if I give $100 here, then I'm going to get $200 here. If I give this much, I'm going to get this. He don't say that.
Nope. Nowhere.
And
Nowhere in here.
hold on. We got a digging machine.
Ring.
Didn't do it.
Boy.
Wish y'all could see the look on his face. He's like, I did not do that. Nope, Daddy. Here you go. He said, I didn't do it. Y'all can probably hear the heavy breather. Come here. You gonna come up here to Mama? He said, nope. He'd been digging again. So I wrote down, thanks to the dear old Googly, the definition of a blessing, and it says it's a noun, God's favor and protection. I was like, so let's define favor. A noun, and its approval, support, or liking for someone. Then protection, to be kept safe from danger, injury, damage, or loss. I was like, oh, they don't say nothing about monetary.
No.
Nowhere, even in the Google translation, does it say monetary.
Nope.
So, approval, support, liking of someone, and then protection from danger, injury, or loss.
There's no monetary value to that.
No. It's just a heavenly value,
Yep.
not monetary. Like you're gonna need anything up in heaven. So anyway, that really hit me. Does it you?
Yes. Because I was sitting there when you were looking that stuff up and you were reading it off. I was like, wow.
Yeah, says something, don't it?
Yep.
So, but I know this time of year, granted, historically, if you look it up, Christmas this time of year was not when Jesus was born.
Nope.
This was a pagan holiday. It was a harvest for
Festival.
crops and being thankful for getting through the winter and stuff like that. And Christians said, we're taking that because we don't want none of that pagan mess, you know. So it's just interesting when people call out Christians for having like the Santa Claus and all these decorations and all this stuff, you know. They call those not Christian, you know, monetary Christian, you know, that Christmas isn't about that. Well, no, that's true, but I think people just look forward to a celebration because for a lot of people it means time with family and friends. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there this time of year though that are alone, are experiencing something for the first time alone, or at least they feel alone. We don't want anybody to feel like they're alone ever. If you need to talk to us, reach out to us, holler at us. I mean, we'll talk to anybody, you know, anytime.
Anytime.
Even if you do want to just say hey and celebrate, you know, that's fine. Or if you need an ear because things ain't going right.
Yeah, I got big ears.
Yeah, he does.
So
We're not
I'm
gonna talk
a
about
good I'm a good listener.
Yeah, he is. And Mr. Dream and Miss Tammy are great listeners too. They really are. They've listened to us through many, many years, haven't they?
Sure have.
But to talk about the whole Christian aspect of things and talking about blessings. Oh, there go the boom again. God's greatest, biggest blessing he's ever done for us is...
He gave us Jesus.
Exactly. That's so amazing. And, you know, Christmas isn't the only time that we should remember that.
No.
At all.
It should be every day.
Yeah. Did you know, question, did you know that most Jewish people actually pray before their feet even touch the floor in the morning?
No, I didn't.
I'm not that good. I wish I could be.
I need to be.
It's discipline. It's discipline in prayer. And I know each of us need a little bit more. I know I sure could use it. But talking about the birth of Christ, we wrote down several things about blessings in the Bible, but ironically, that didn't pop up. When you Google blessings in the Bible, Jesus' birth doesn't pop up.
Uh-uh.
Crazy. Because that is his greatest blessing. So we wanted to take the opportunity to read You go ahead and find it.
We'll start.
With Luke.
We'll start with Luke.
Yeah. Okay. I want to start with Luke 27:28, then 38. You go ahead.
So this is Jesus himself talking. You say 27:28.
Mm-hmm.
But I say to you who hear, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, and pray for those who spitefully use you.
Okay. So that was just talking about blessings.
Right. He's saying somebody curses you, bless them.
Yeah. And then in 38, it said, Luke 38, give and stop, move your finger. You're rolling it to where I can't see. Get your finger off. Give and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. With the same measure that you use, it will be measured back to you. But I think that's... And again, there again, that was Jesus talking. But I think people take that the wrong way.
Yeah, they're taking it. You know, if I give $10, I'm gonna get $100 back, or you know.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that. Do you?
No.
Yeah, we started in Luke. Let's go back this way. You can find it. It's Numbers 6, 24, and 26. You can read them.
The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace.
I was just reading the one above it. The one above it says, well, the two above it say, and the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, this is the way you shall bless the children of Israel. Say to them. And that's what Jim just what he just read. So, look, it says, after that it says, so they shall put my name on the children of Israel, and I will bless them. So, before Jesus even came, God was blessing the children of Israel.
I mean, you know, even us today, you know, if God shines his face, you know, in a way that we can see, we're blessed, you know.
Yep.
And that could be in it. He could show his face in many different ways.
Yeah. You never know. You always have to constantly be looking. And I know people used to say that to me, and I used to get a little confused by that. Constantly be looking, but I know there's also been times that something will happen, and we're like, oh, look at there, God showing up and showing out. You know?
Yep.
You just have to be observant, and sometimes you think it's somebody else, but it's God through that somebody else.
Yep.
right?
You know, it's just like that old story about the guy standing on the roof of his house.
Yeah, tell that.
The old story is that there was a flood and the guy was on top of his house and he prayed and he was like, God save me. And then moments later a guy in the boat came up and the guy was like, no, I prayed for God to save me. He's like, God's gonna save me. So the guy in the boat was like, okay, I'm gonna go. A guy in the bigger boat shows up. He says, hey, you need some help? I got room on my boat. You can come on. The guy was like, no, I'm waiting on God. God's gonna come through. He's gonna save me. Well, another guy came with the boat. And he said, no, God is gonna save me. I'm gonna stay here and wait for God. So later on, the flood consumed the guy, and the guy went up to heaven, and he saw God, and he was like, God, how come you didn't save me? And God said, well, I sent 3 people after you.
Yeah, how many times do we recognize it, right?
Right.
It's crazy, isn't it? So this is Psalm 1965. It's on your side, you read it.
You have dealt well with your servant, O Lord, according to your word. Is that right? 1965. Yeah.
So, if you're ever in question, you read something that should be in reference, read the 1 or 2 behind, in front of it, and read the next ones after. So, read 64.
The earth, O Lord, is full of your mercy. Teach me your statutes.
Now read.
You have dealt well with your servant, O Lord, according to your word. Teach me good judgment and knowledge, for I believe your commandments.
So, I think it's somebody that they're asking to be taught what's his statute, his ways, right?
Yes.
And, there goes that boom again. That scared me. Did y'all see me jump? You have dealt well with your servant, O Lord, according to your word. Teach me good judgment and knowledge, for I believe your commandments. Well, to me, if you read that whole thing, it says, teach me good judgment and knowledge. So
He's wanting the blessing of discernment and knowledge.
yeah. And those are tricky, just like we were talking about other preachers and us kind of figuring out the whole $10 for $100 thing. Let's just say that. That's discernment. That's not of God. And I always think about this. Who was John the Baptist? He was Jesus's cousin, right?
Yeah, he was the one that paved the way.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't getting into that part.
Well, yeah.
But he was his cousin. And if we were to have met him today, he would not, oh Lordy, he would not have been dressed up in the finest of clothing. In fact, he called the Pharisees out for that. He would not have had the fanciest car. No. John lived in the wilderness. So he probably, if you can imagine what we think of a hillbilly or hickamobilly is what I like to say. But he probably looked like a homeless person. He was homeless. The wilderness was his home. And that was Jesus' cousin, and he paved the way. So who in their right mind really thinks that, you know, these fancy cars and this fancy this and fancy that, you know, is what Jesus would have wanted? And that he's going to turn around and bless us with the fancy this and the fancy that. You know what is a blessing, though? We have a roof over our head. We have food to eat. And we have the knowledge of God. We have not just the knowledge of God, but we also have the knowledge of His Son. Those, I think, is what John the Baptist would have, you know.
Yeah.
That would have been important to him. You got a hole digger over there again. He said, no, I'm not. Yeah, he is. He's digging. So, that makes sense if you really think about it. You have to kind of... And there again, we're not the most knowledgeable on everything. We are not scholars by any means. We're just trying to interpret the Bible, and life is...
So please interact.
Talk to us.
Talk to us.
If you don't agree, or if you do agree.
Yeah, I mean, and if we're wrong,
We're wrong.
we're wrong. I mean,
Yeah. You know, just please don't be rude to one another. Don't be ugly to each other. But we will communicate. We do have moderators in the chat that will use you for target practice. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but I'm pretty sure you can. They're like, dum, 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 dum. Anyway, they will kindly escort you out if they need to. But I just know we're not going to have any issues. Yeah, right. Okay, so now we're in Proverbs. So it's Proverbs 11:25. It's on your side again. Imagine that.
the generous soul will be made rich.
Keep reading.
And he who waters will also be watered himself. That's not talking about, oh, I'm going to give a whole bunch of money because I'm going to get a bunch of money in return. No, that's the saying, you know.
Our lives are made richer the closer we are to God.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to put our earthly aside. Can't take it with you. Not going to take it with you. Because what we got up there is much, much better. Right? Okay. Now we're in Jeremiah 29:11. Oh, it's on my side.
Yay.
For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, says the Lord. Thoughts of peace, not evil, to give you a future and a hope. He says it there.
Yep. He's saying, you know, thoughts of peace, love, and not
evil.
Not evil, you know, not thinking about.
The very next phrase, I love this. It says, then you call upon me and go and pray to me, and I will listen to you. Seek, and you will seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart. My dog has the zoomies again. I don't know if y'all remember last week, but he be zooming. Zooming. There he goes, running around the yard. But that's a blessing, because where we were living in Mississippi, he had a little backyard. I mean, a little backyard. Not enough to run in. And now that we're living with Nene, he has a huge backyard. And that is a blessing because animals should be able to be free and run and play and happy. And he is such a happy boy. And that's really cool. And you know what? It's kind of funny. He follows his Nene around. Nene doesn't really care for it. But it's kind of a little silver lining blessing because since she fell, he's just like, hey, I'm gonna make sure she's okay. And she's like, I'm okay, leave me alone. But it's so cute. It's so funny.
It is.
It is. It's sweet. So he's a special little dog. We actually have him registered as a service dog for mobility with me.
Yep.
But he's not a officially trained service dog, but we do have him registered. But we'll talk about that another day. Because he is something else, that's for sure. Hence his name, Kylo Ren. If y'all don't know what Kylo Ren is, this man loves Star Wars. And it's really funny because I'll just tell you, Anakin, of course, turned into Darth Vader. Well, Darth Vader and Princess Leia had 2 children.
No. Padme. Princess Leia.
My bad. Princess Leia was
One of
one of Padme's
the
children. My bad. Padme had 2 children, which was Princess Leia and Luke, right?
Yes.
Luke Skywalker?
Yep.
Okay. Well, Princess Leia and Han Solo had a child, which is
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren, which is our dog. But what's really funny is we have a cat.
Cat's name is Anakin. So our cat is our dog's grandpappy.
I think it's quite hysterical. So we're going to look in 1 Corinthians now, 15. We ain't reading the whole thing, but why did I write 1 Corinthians 15? Huh.
We read that last week.
Yeah. Oh well. That's okay. We're not going to do 1 Corinthians. Because we did that one last week, so it's probably just a carryover. How about 2 Corinthians 9:8? It's right there.
Your side.
Oh my.
Yay.
And God is able to make all grace abound toward you, that you always having all sufficiency in all things may have an abundance for every good work. So what do you think about that? Because that brings up works.
There again.
Okay, I gotta let the doogie in. He's probably wanting to check on his Nene. Don't tell her.
But there again, it's talking about if you truly are genuine
You wanna go in?
and doing it out of the goodness of your heart and not wanting a reward. It's saying you'll have enough.
Yeah.
Then now I'm gonna interject this, but and it says may have an abundance for every good work. So I'm saying you have to be genuine and through the goodness of your heart every day, because you gotta work every day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think that means. But if I'm wrong, please somebody come tell me, so I can know and I can grow.
Right. Right. Because as Christians, we have to be fed. We can't, always be feeding other people. We have to be fed as well. And I don't mean food. I mean spiritual food.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and if I don't know, I can't grow.
Right. That's so true. So, we're moving on to our next reading. And it's in 1 Peter 3:9. Uh-oh, it might be on my side. 3:9, right there. Not returning evil for evil, or reviling for reviling, but on the contrary, blessing, knowing that you were called to this, that you may inherit a blessing. So, what do you take by that?
It goes back to that when Jesus said, love one another. It's,
Yeah, I think,
and not somebody does you wrong, you don't do them wrong back.
And the disciples were like, okay, we follow the commandments, but are there any commandments that you want to add to? And the only one Jesus added was to love one another.
Yes. He said, love God with all your heart, all your strength, and all your mind, and love one another.
I mean, all we want to do is fight with each other. Even Christians, you're not doing this right. You're not, this person's not doing that right. Everybody just, it's like bicker.
Yeah.
That's not what was intended.
No. I mean, if you look on the news, that's proof right there that people ain't loving one another.
Yeah. I quit watching the news a little while back because in Memphis it was like every day somebody was, getting hurt some kind of way. And so I just quit watching the news because I didn't want my mind full of that, I didn't even want to hear it. But, I think it might be back at the door. So, do you have any specific blessings you want to talk about? I'm gonna get him. I put you on the spot, didn't I?
Yeah. You put me dead on the spot.
Come on.
I'm going to say the family I got is probably, and that's blood and friends I have that I do call family.
Hey, darling. Now you want to say hi? Well, come on. Remy, come here. Come here, Remy.
Yeah,
Goodness,
but,
but
come on.
we're trying to get our baby to come say hi. He's thinking about it.
Yeah, you're going to take the spotlight off me.
Oh, looky there. There's our boy. He's giving Mama kisses.
But the blood family I have and the friends that I do call family.
Yeah. Yeah. So, next week we haven't decided exactly what we're going to talk about. If y'all have any suggestions, any recommendations, throw them out there. We'll be glad to hear them. We're trying to top, oh, somebody wants to love on his daddy. We're trying to just take a topic and go with that, go from there.
Yeah.
And it will be the day after Christmas that we're supposed to go on next, so that'll be next Thursday. Maybe we might have an update about the old Jubby Jub by then. Y'all be in prayer for us, that if it's God's will, it will happen. We would greatly appreciate that. Otherwise, we really hope Everybody, I'm going to say it, even though I brought up the topic last week about somebody saying Happy Hanukkah. If you are of a different denomination, or religion is a better way to say it, we hope you have happy holidays for all our Christian brethren and sisters out there. We hope you have a very merry and safe Christmas.
Yes.
And we will see you after Christmas. And I don't know what we're going to talk about next, because before we see them again, it's going to be 2025 after that.
Yep. It'll be New Year.
Yeah, starting off a new year. That's crazy. So anyway, we love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe. And as we keep doing this, hopefully we'll get better each time.
Hit the subscribe button.
Thank you guys.
I love y'all.